यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama
Jai Radha Madhav Jai Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Dashtapraya Javadrasha Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Rabhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 24, Renunciation of Kardamamani, and text number 12. बारह कल तो 11 एक ही नहीं
To honor the special master need to carry out his instructions.
So text number 13. एतावत्येव शुश्रूषा
तावदेव शुश्रूषा
कार्या पितरि पुत्रकैः बद्धम् इति अनुमन्येत गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः एतावत्येव शुश्रूषा कार्या पितरि पुत्रकैः बाढम् इत्य अनुमन्येत गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः एतावत्येव शुश्रूषा कार्या पितरि पुत्रकैः बाढम् इत्यनुमन्येत गौरवेण गुरोर्वचः एतावते to this extent eva exactly shushrushra service karya ought to be rendered pitari to the father putrakaihi by the sons badham iti accepting yes sir anumanyeta he should obey gauravena with due deference guruho of the guru vachaha commands. Translation and purport by His Loving Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sons ought to render service to their father exactly to this extent. One should obey the command of his father or spiritual master with a due deference, saying, yes, sir. Purport. Two words in this verse are very important. One word is pitari and another word is guru. The son or disciple should accept the words of his spiritual master and father without hesitation. Whatever the father and the spiritual master order should be taken without argument. Yes. There should be no instance in which the disciple or the son says, this is not correct, I cannot carry it out. When he says that, follow. The father and spiritual master are on the same line because the spiritual master is the second father. The higher classes are called Dvija, twice born. Whenever there is a question of birth, there must be a father. The first birth is made possible by the actual father, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual master. Sometimes the father and spiritual master may be the same man, and sometimes there are different men. In any case, the order of the father or the order of spiritual master must be carried out without hesitation. With an immediate yes. There should be no argument. That is real service to the father and to the spiritual master. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur had stated that the order of spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciples. As a man cannot separate his life from his body, a disciple cannot separate the order of spiritual master from his life. If a disciple follows the instruction of the spiritual master in that way, he is sure to become perfect. This is confirmed in the Upanishad. The import of Vedic instruction is revealed automatically only to one who has an implicit faith in the spiritual master and Supreme Personality. One may be materially considered an illiterate man, but if he has a faith in the spiritual master as well as in the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, then the meaning of spiritual revelation is immediately manifested before him. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananya Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantam Adadranasya Dranam Dante Ridam Yacha Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padam Bhojo Gulisyam Amajanmani Vande Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Na Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Tam Sajinam Sadvaitam Savatbhutam Parijanasayitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vyakanvitam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Etavatya Shushrusha Karya Pitari Putrakaihi Badham Iti Anumanyeta Gauravena Guru Vachaha. Son ought to render service to their father exactly to this extent. One should obey the command of his father or spiritual master with a due difference, saying, yes, sir. So here between the relation between guru and disciple and father and son as described, how that should be. It's clearly explained here that the words of spiritual master and father, they should be accepted without any hesitation or without any arguments. And Prabhupada clearly says, when he says to his father or spiritual master that this is not correct, I cannot carry it out, then that time that person is considered as fallen or teeth. So in that regard, there's no chance for me at least. Because at some point, because of so-called our education system and material advancement, we think ourselves far better experienced, superior than our own parents. And we always try to argue with them. So in that regard, actually each one of us is a fallen. I was thinking that why this age of Akali is considered as the most fallen. It's because of this. The today's system that has given by the Britishers to the whole world, actually, they are following their system only, what they establish everywhere. That destroys the respects for elders. Especially in India, when they wanted to establish their kingdom, what they did? First of all, they destroyed the Gurukul system, the ancient education system of Vedic era. Second thing, they ridicule the Brahminical class of people and the teachers. And they destroyed the ideals of the people. So once you don't have anyone as an ideal to follow, then your life is gone. Once you start disrespecting the elders, including your parent and teachers, you lose interest in learning something or getting their mercy, because The Vedic knowledge never comes by your own endeavor. It comes by the mercy of spiritual master. Shloka Tasmadeva Acharya Mamini. To know the absolute truth, you should go to Sannitpani Shrotiya. With a humility, one should approach a spiritual master to get to know the absolute truth. The Vedic knowledge is delivered or actually revealed in your heart by the spiritual master. And here Prabhupada says sometimes the father is spiritual master himself. Both may be the same man, or sometimes they may be different. But respect for them should be offered same. Because one has given you this body and second has given you the knowledge through which you can use this body for your spiritual advancement. So there should be no argument. And that is real service to Father and to the spiritual master. It's very clear. Once you start having doubts about spiritual master, that means you are falling. About their instruction, about their character, about their behavior, then you are fallen.
क्या बोल रहे हैं?
Yes, you can actually aside. Eva Gava.
गुरु महाराज क्या
ठीक, जितना भाग्य हमें उतना भागवत समझ लेते बस. Prabhupada says the higher classes are called Dvija, twice born. Whenever there is a question of birth, there must be a father. The first birth is made possible by the actual father, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual master. सुनाई तो देता है, हिंदी में बोलो या इंग्लिश में बोला, अगर सुनाई नहीं देगा तो क्या फायदा है? जब से इंग्लिश में बोलूंगा तो कुछ लोग इस पे सुन रहे हैं, वो तो सुन लेंगे तो निकल जाते हैं ऑनलाइन से, हिंदी में शुरू हो जाता है. तो there's a nice story actually, how one should take the instruction of spiritual master seriously. As Prabhupada said, it is stated in the Upanishads, and through which you can understand. I think that was Aruni or when he reached to the Gurukul, and very humbly with a folded hand he asked the spiritual master that I would like to join your Gurukul and wanted to learn about the Vedic knowledge. So please bless me with your mercy. Then spiritual master just looked at him and he said, okay, do one thing. Take these cows and bull and go to the forest. And when they become 100 in numbers, then you come to me. He said, yes, okay. And he just walked to the forest with the cows and bull. And he started taking care of them. So one day spiritual master came to the forest and he saw, oh, he is still strong, healthy, stout and rendering his service. As soon as he saw his spiritual master, he offered his pranams. The spiritual master asked him, what do you eat? He said, nothing, Guru Maharaj. Generally, when the calves, they drink the milk, then whatever is remaining, I'm having that. Then his spiritual master told him, don't do that. Because you serve so nicely, so calves, they have developed love for you. And they wanted to leave drinking that milk for you because of your affection. So, don't do that from tomorrow. And he took it seriously. And then next time, after few months actually, his spiritual master again came to visit him and saw him. And there he saw that again he is healthy, strong and strong. Then he asked, now what do you eat? He said, nothing, Guru Maharaj. When these calves, when they drink and really their stomach is full and there is a foam on their face, I take out that foam and eat or drink. He said, it's not good. You should not do that. He said, okay. Then again, after a few months, he came and he saw that again he is looking healthy, strong. He said, again he asked, what happened? Now what do you eat? He said, nothing, Guru Maharaj. After cows, they take rest. I go to the nearby villages and do madhukari, and whatever I get, I eat that. So he said, from tomorrow, whatever madhukari you get it, just get that to ashram. I said, okay. So from next day, he started going out, getting madhukari and getting it back to the ashram and giving it to Guru. And Guru never asked him to eat anything there. Once he has given, he said, okay, go to the forest again. So he never asked or he never argued with him. He never questioned him, why you are doing so. But he just followed as it is. The next, after a few months, he came and he saw that he's not there and cows are around, and at one particular place all cows are gathered and they are mourning actually. So he was surprised. Then he started calling his disciple. And then very thin voice he heard. And he started walking to that direction. And when he reached there, he saw there is one big ditch in which the disciple has fallen. And he asked him, what happened? First of all, he took him out. And then he asked, what happened? And he said, Guru, actually, I was not able to get anything to eat. So I was eating just leaves from the different trees. And I don't know what I ate. I lost my eyesight. By seeing such a determination and sincerity to follow the instruction of his spiritual master became so happy with him. And then he invoked Ashwini Kumaras to come. And Ashwini Kumaras are the doctors of demigods. They came. And they asked, what do you want? Then his spiritual master said, please give him back his eyesight. Do something. So Ashwini Kumaras, immediately they prepared some medicine with a malpuha. They gathered all the herbs from around, made one malpuha and offered it to the disciple. And he took it. And actually he was resistant. He said, I will not have it. I need to have a permission of my spiritual master, then I can eat that. And then his guru said, okay, you can have it. And then he had. As soon as he ate that, his eyesight back. Everyone was surprised. Then that Rishi, he asked him, I'm really pleased with you. Now you ask whatever you want. Then with a folded hand and with a sincere heart, he asked his spiritual master, you are pleased with me. So please give me the whole Vedic knowledge. And he said, at a time, you would like to have that knowledge? He said, yes. By your mercy, if you are really merciful on me, and by your mercy I can have all this knowledge. Then he asked, what you are seeing in the sky? Then he just looked up and he saw there are beautiful personalities standing with a folded hands, and they are looking at him. He said, Guru Maharaj, there are beautiful personalities there in the sky, they are standing there. Then his Guru Maharaj said, they are nothing but the personified the Vedic mantras, Shruti mantras, Smriti mantras, Upanishads, Puranas, Itihasas. What do you want? And he said, I want all together. And by the mercy of spiritual master, all these personalities, they entered in his heart. And thus he got the whole Vedic knowledge. So that's the way of getting a Vedic knowledge. If someone is dedicated to follow the instruction of his spiritual master, that becomes the most easiest path to progress in spiritual life. And we have another example. How you can get the sense of Vedic knowledge. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was on the Dakshin Bharat Yatra, at a Kurma Kshetra, he came across to one Brahmana who was illiterate. But he was sitting and reading Bhagavad Gita, and that is also upside down. So people were laughing at him, and the passby or passbys were being nearby. All they were laughing at him. But Mahaprabhu came there. He saw him. That person was reading Bhagavad Gita, which is upside down, and there were tears flowing from his eyes. By seeing that, Mahaprabhu asked him, what is this? What you are doing exactly? Then that person said, actually my spiritual master asked me to read Bhagavad Gita every day. But I am an illiterate person, I can't read. But still I'm trying because it's the instruction of my spiritual master. And he said, why you are crying then? He said, I'm crying because here is the picture where Lord is sitting as a charioteer, as a chariot driver for his own devotee. Considering that position, actually it's the lowest position. But my Lord has accepted that for the benefit of his own devotee. So he's so merciful. And then Mahaprabhu, he became so ecstatic. He just grabbed that person, embraced him, and gave him love of God. He said, this is what one should understand by reading scripture, the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by the mercy of spiritual master, you have got it. So now you are blessed with the Krishna name. So here, just following the instruction of spiritual, or trying to following the instruction of spiritual master, he pleased his spiritual master as well as he pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Gauranga himself. And he was blessed with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita as well as the topmost perfection of life, love of God. And whole of our Guru Parampara, it shows that how each and every Acharya, the greatest personalities who has established this truth amongst this conditioned soul, how they are blessed with the spiritual master and how they have taken this seriously. Recently, I was reading one article when Mataji wrote it. When His Divine Grace was in Russia, he saw the chaotic condition of Russian Republic. That time people, they were communist. And for hundreds of years, the citizens of Russia were kept away purposefully from God consciousness. They were atheists actually. But these people, they have great hankering in a heart. But because of the government rule and the political status, it was very difficult, or political environment, it was difficult to take up God consciousness. And those days, Prabhupada went there. As he used to go other part of the world, he used to have a great programs, reception, everything. But here nothing was there because he was like an enemy for government. So there was nothing that they can exhibit there. But one person, one Indian person with a Russian young man, he came and he approached Shamsundar Prabhu. And Shamsundar Prabhu, that time he was a personal secretary of Prabhupada who went along with Russia. So he got them together. So they came to Prabhupada's room. And that day itself, Prabhupada preached him for 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours. The other person was translating and he heard that. In that first meeting itself, Prabhupada gave him initiation. Can you imagine? The day when he met and the day when he got initiated. And Prabhupada told him, now start preaching in your language. And Prabhupada left. He came back. But Prabhupada was always thinking about this person, how to help him to preach them. So there was one Mataji in Europe. Prabhupada asked her, you go to Russia and get married to him. Can you imagine? And see how surprising it is. So that Mataji who wrote that, she was thinking, how is it possible? One European girl, why she will go to Russia and get married with a person who is unknown to her at all? Don't know, totally different lifestyles. And when she goes there, how she is going to get association of devotees? And how she can nurture in her Krishna consciousness and she will preach. This Mataji was thinking like that. Then Prabhupada wrote to that Mataji actually, whom Prabhupada asked to go and get married with him. Because that was the easiest way to get a visa for Russia. Once you get married, once you go and get married, you can stay and get the citizenship. But other people from Europe or America, they can't go. It was very strict those days to get a visa. So she was rejected several times by the visa authority. First of all, she agreed to follow the instruction of Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada told her that there is no other way to go anyone else to give him association so that he can preach. But now you go get married with him and settle down there and you teach him the all Vaishnava behaviors, cooking, how to offer, deity worship, everything you teach him and you both can preach there. And one day, by Krishna's mercy, she got visa, she went there, she got married, she stayed there, and they preached. And he preached in such a, what we can say, nasty environment. It was so horrible. KGBs, they tortured him up to like a death point. Several times they put him into the shackles, they put him into jail, they tortured him heavily. They kept him on a drugs for a few years actually. But that person, he never gave up Krishna consciousness. He never gave up the instruction given by Prabhupada. Just the one meeting with Prabhupada, and he accepted Krishna consciousness for throughout life. And he preached. He preached so heavily and so powerful. He actually used to write down whole Bhagavad Gita in Russian language, handwritten. He used to make copies of that whole Bhagavad Gita, and he used to distribute. Can you imagine? Just one meeting with the Prabhupada. In 1996, His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj brought him to Mayapur. I forgot. Something Shanti. I've put that article on our group, Iskcon Phoenix. Read that. It's very inspiring. Here we can see, just by following the instruction of spiritual master, what can do. Before he passed away, they had his interview, and he gave the whole details, how horrible it was for them to preach, and how he did that. They used to smuggle books from Europe to distribute. And if they caught, immediately they are into jail. Suffered a lot, but never ever. And took it seriously. And this is what happens. Now, the largest devotee community is there in Russia. They are so sincere. They are so serious in spiritual life. My Guru Maharaj was telling, when he went first time, for days together he was giving lectures, and these lectures used to go up to 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And people were like just so serious, so sincere to hear about their Lordship. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has stated that the order of spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciple. And if they take it like that, the doors of spiritual words are wide open for them. So let be chaste to our own spiritual master and take his instruction seriously and sincerely to progress in our Krishna consciousness, to make a progress in our Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Any doubt, any question? Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.